Hello, welcome back to Rome Total War. In the previous part we took the town of Corduba, along with the town of Kydonia. We sank the bulk of Greece's last army, well I guess it's not Greece's last army, but Greece's last significant army, and we're now besieging Sparta. We're also being besieged at Lepcis Magna by the king of Numidia. And I think that's pretty much it on the battlefront. In this part we're going to be potentially expanding into the rest of Iberia, possibly attacking Parma, although I don't want to get overconfident with that one. This ship here doesn't have an army on board, so we don't need to worry about the Julii getting there first, at least not just yet. I do want to attack Parma, but I think we need to build up a bit more of a military force first. We've only got like 4 full units here, and then 2 partial units. But here in Iberia, we're going to be kind of branching out a bit and seeing what our potential targets are, figuring out what we want to attack next. I think to the east here we've got a Spanish town, and to the north we have Carthage, who are going to attack Gaul, but I'm not sure where Gaul begins and where Spain ends. I think Spain must still have a few towns left for us to take. We haven't actually started fighting them yet, but I imagine they haven't collapsed too much just yet, so we'll see what happens with Carthage. Perhaps they'll turn around and try to take Corduba back, perhaps they won't, perhaps they'll just go and try and take a Gallic town instead. We'll see. We have got a nice amount of denarii to spend as a result of sacking Corduba in the last part, so I think we should spend that while we can. Priority here is definitely going to be on anything that improves public order. So we are getting a shrine to Saturn here in Corduba just to keep it happy. Fairly happy to go through with that. And I think the big outlay here is going to be in Carthage. We're going to actually go and build a hippodrome, even though it's going to be even more expenditure. I'm pretty desperate just to keep Carthage as happy as possible. I don't want it to rebel too quickly. It's growing extremely quickly, but we can't really bump up the tax rate to slow it down just yet. Thapsus is also not very happy. I think we're just going to have to recruit peasants there. Don't really be doing any more. We've already started building a new temple. Let's see. Where are we building? Where are we not building? Capua we're not building. Can't really go wrong with a large temple to Vulcan. It is very tempting in Carthage to actually keep upgrading the ships, shipyard, whatever you want to call it, the docks. Keep upgrading them to try and improve our trading ability, but yeah, I think we just need to be focusing on public order. As much as I'd like to get a ship right, which is not even a very good building, it's fairly basic. We just don't have the luxury of being able to focus on economy too much right now. In Syracuse, however, we can... No, I think I do want to bump up their tax rate too, so we're going to go with a large temple to Neptune. Asana, likewise reasonably happy, but we're going to go for a temple to Neptune. Anything that improves public order, we're going to go for it, because we just need to deal with the public order situation right now. Cyrene can't build. And that looks like it, so we've got a little bit left over to potentially... Do we want to mark it? Inserter? I think we might as well. I think we're going to spend whatever we have left on units. So in this part, another thing that I think will happen is Sparta will collapse and probably not go down without a fight, but I think we should take it by the end of the part. And we need to liberate Lepcis Magna, which is what our 2 forces here are preparing to do. Before we end the turn, however, let's send out our spy. I think there's going to be a town just around here, probably a Spanish town, because just from looking at that kind of trail from our docks to another dock, it looks like there is going to be some kind of port just here on the eastern edge of Iberia. I don't really want to fight Spain necessarily immediately, certainly not until after this last Carthaginian army has collapsed. Wow, there's actually a second one. I didn't expect that. That's slightly concerning. And neither are the faction leader. So there's a faction leader somewhere. Maybe in Parma. It doesn't look like they're too close to attacking. In fact, this even looks like a Spanish border town.
Secrecy is assured.
Okay, so there's a Spanish town. I'm pretty sure Carthage is an ally of Spain. Let's confirm. So Carthage and Spain are allies. And this doesn't look like it's about to attack a Gallic town, so that's something to keep an eye on. It's slightly alarming, to be honest. But we are already building, or at least retraining most of our forces that we lost in the last part there, and elsewhere. I don't think there's a whole lot we can be recruiting. Already getting Principes in Syracuse, Stati in Messana. Trireme is tempting. I think we would benefit from another trireme, so let's get one of those. And I think after that we will be good to end the turn. There should be a spy as well. Let's have a look what we can do with this one. We're going to go in the capital just for the sake of potentially training up the spy, which didn't work, but some experience is presumably better than nothing. Over here we've found the final Seleucid town, but I'm not convinced it's going to be alive for too much longer. Pretty much nothing can stop Egypt at this point in this part of the map. I'm slightly worried that we're going to have to fight them ourselves soon enough. I think one thing we will do, since we do have a little bit of money left over, is we will train some... Let's go with Hastati in Carthage. Should make them a little bit happier, plus a little bit more functional than buying more peasants. Let's end the turn and see what happens. So it looks like a Greek army has been defeated and pushed back, unfortunately towards Sparta. Candidate for adoption, Flavius the Lewd. He's 30 years old, but he is a good commander. I wish I knew where he was. There might be some way of knowing, but I feel like he's a bit old. I don't really want to adopt a 30-year-old. Bit strange. Still the most advanced faction, which is good. A little bit of money in the bank still, which is also good. I think we want some kind of... Now let's stay focused on public order, same as everywhere else. Public order is the main thing we want. Corduba is going to be already building stables, and Lilybium cavalry stables. I think that just gives us cavalry auxilia, who are not the best unit, to be honest. Let's go with the shipwright. Or... You know, once again, I think we just need to go with the public order building. That's always a priority. As Carthage hasn't moved. That's interesting. It gives us some time to build up. We can get Principes for 441 denarii. It's very cheap. And we need to diversify this town a bit. It's mostly Equites. I don't actually want to branch out at all until we've actually got that those stables built, because we need to retrain all of these Equites. At the moment we can enhance their weapons, but we can't actually bring back the units. But let's at least queue some up, just to get that cost out of the way. Sirta, we're going to keep recruiting units. Belates are decent, let's go for it. And yeah, I don't want to go for an attack on Parma just yet. Especially not if there is actually going to be a faction leader there. That's going to be quite challenging to deal with. Lepcis Magna is now becoming quite unhappy. We're going to drop them to a normal tax rate. We'll join these two up. And we should be able to go there next turn, which will be just in time. Otherwise, let's follow this path, see if we can find another town. Looks like it's to the west.
Without delay, out of move, sir.
And our spy.
Yes, master.
I don't want to move him too far away. I think we definitely want to keep an eye on those two armies.
My way.
There's actually a Spanish spy there, so that's interesting.
Sir.
So this is a Gallic region, but there are Spanish armies on the move. That's interesting. But as long as Carthage doesn't move, that's fine. We'll see what happens. We can't time them out. They're going to be there pretty much until they decide to move. I don't know whether I'd actually go out of my way to attack them or not. 3 turns left for Sparta. I think we're good to end the turn. As Corinth is now under siege, we're actually being attacked here. That's really unfortunate. Another Greek army has arrived. I don't know if we're ready to deal with this. This extra force that's popped up with 1,000 men. 3 units of hoplites plus mercenary hoplites. That's actually going to be very difficult. We'll see what we can do. Okay, I think we want to just deal with as many of these as possible before the rest show up. Cretan archers we can deploy straight away. They have really nice range on them. A couple of cavalry units there. Missile cav, that should be okay to deal with. Otherwise, let's try and soften up these hoplites as much as possible. They don't have too much in the way of their own range units, just those peltasts. Let's send all of our units in at the same time, try and rout that general. I need to be a little bit careful here. Okay, they didn't charge into the hoplites, which is a good start. Let's try and hit that general. Okay, nope, never mind. They've decided they do want to charge into the hoplites. Let's just try and stop them from doing that by clicking away from that location over and over again. General there has lost a few units. What are they doing? Okay, we've routed him with just the 1 unit.
The enemy general with fear. Now he flees the field like a coward.
Let's see what else is going on. 1 unit here is fairly isolated. Try and hit that. The 1 unit of Equites looks like has engaged the hoplites, which was not a clever idea. Sadly, the general himself is the one survivor. Okay. Routed the mercenary hoplites, which is good. Our own cavalry, once again, just completely disobeying us.
Gods be praised.
But we have taken the general, which is good. There is another big army coming. We need to actually figure out where those are coming from. Looks like they're coming from this direction. Okay, routed those 2. Prepare to attack this final unit. Cavalry are coming back. Try and rout them. Grecian archers we need to look out for, definitely. We've actually routed those pretty quickly, which is excellent. We can hit the hoplites from the back as well, that's good because they won't be protected by their shields. We are going to charge into them here. They won't turn around quite in time, but we'll probably lose most of our cavalry there. It's not quite ahead on charge, so I'm... Actually, let's pull back. It's a bit too reckless. Attempting to pull them out. Okay, we routed them though, so let's go in and finish them off. Need to plan for the next batch of opponents now who are starting to come in. They should have a few armored hoplites, which are the worst of the bunch. Looks like we've lost one of our generals, which is unfortunate. These guys should not be charging into the hoplites. Take out the peltas, they should be an easy target. The rest of our forces here, let's see, what's this? Another unit of hoplites. We should be able to surround those and deal with them quickly enough. It's unfortunate that we lost the other general because he was quite a young general. He had lots of potential. This is a big fight to win. Okay, those guys are routing, that's good. Let's go and chase them down. Faction leader here has routed some peltasts, but we don't want him to engage with the hoplites. Let's pull those away. Might charge these guys in the back just because they haven't turned around. Need to pull out pretty quickly. Oh, actually routed them. Okay, that's good. Peltas here, we want to deal with those, definitely. And the armored hoplites, we just want to avoid them as much as possible. We've only really got the one cavalry unit left. Okay, let's charge straight out of there. Let's try and get to our hoplites if we can. If we can lure them into that, that'd be perfect. Just need them to actually move. Nope, they are determined to fight. Surely got to be in our favour. I'm completely surrounded. Armoured hoplites are going to be a problem.
The general is slain, and now his men fear us. It is time to press the attack.
Hoplites turn to face us, but that's good. We're still stabbing them in the back. Let's use our infantry here. Try and surround that unit. Grecian archers, where are they? Currently safe. That's good. Run out of ammo though. I'm not going to go too overboard with that. Let's try and rout these. Looking like we'll lose our king there. As yeah, these armoured hoplites are just a complete nightmare to deal with. Not them, not them. Do not attack them. Amazed he got out of that. These guys are still hanging on somehow. I'm not sure how we can win this. Those are mere normal hoplites. They might be possible to rout. We can surround them. Got to pretty much move all of these away. I've at least defeated one unit of armoured hoplites, which is good. Okay, we've routed the first unit of hoplites. That's good. I think we will actually win this. Just that last unit of armoured hoplites to worry about. If we can surround them, we might be able to rout them. Hoplite mercenaries actually did very well. We want to run. We don't want to be fighting these. Even though they're out of phalanx formation, they still have the stats to beat us pretty easily. We only want to fight them when we can completely surround them. Get a good surround going. Free Hastati here, those are going to help. Also want the Rhodian Slingers. Rhodian Slingers? Yeah, Rhodian Slingers. We want them to use up all of their ammo as soon as possible, as they have actually routed one of our units just by making contact, pretty much. We've almost surrounded them now. Careful with the general. He's just there to build up morale. Okay, they've got their spears back. They're not in a good formation there. Mercenary Peltas, though, are not the main force we want to be fighting them on the front there. Gonna pull back from that. They have more Principes somewhere, I'm not sure where they've all gotten off to. Now we're gonna actually need everything we've got. Might even need to risk the king. Shaken, they're wavering, but they're confident they're gonna win. Okay, we've got him. What have they got left? They've got something left, just the Peltas, it looks like. Go and chase those down, like the rest of our units. Handle the hoplites. It's literally just the king. Okay, we've won.
The army is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battlefield.
I think that's fine. I don't think they can get kills now. So we'll let the king take as many of those as possible. That's not a fight I expected to win at some points. Looks like we just about managed it. Heavy losses, but worth it. And the best thing of all is our Cretan Archer unit is completely intact. We'll be making more use of those, definitely. Well, the loss of a general was unfortunate, but I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. And I think we should take Sparta now. I think. We'll soon find out.
Victory!
Yep, we've got Sparta, so that's great. We're gonna just straight up exterminate them. Take 9,000 denarii. And we'll see how this plays out with Corinth. It looks like Corinth is definitely gonna go down. Flavius the Lewd. Oh, my guy is called Flavius the Lewd. This guy is called Numerius Gessius. He's got a few good traits going for him. +2 command when assaulting walls, that's pretty decent actually. This one's not so good in fact. -2 morale. No way. The morale situation is already pretty much our biggest obstacle. We've killed about half the population of Sparta, but that's what we had to do. Take it for ourselves. And we're going to retrain absolutely everything we possibly can and recruit some more Principes, I think. This is actually the first town we've had where we can recruit an assassin. And that's pretty tempting. But we need our own forces because Thrace just has crazy number of units just going all over the place, and once Corinth goes down, I think Sparta is surely going to be the next target. And I'm not sure I can actually hold them off, to be perfectly honest, but we're going to try. And the people here are reasonably happy, all things considered. Julianus Scipio, our faction leader, is 61 years of age and I think going to die in the next few turns as a result of that age. Let's get a blacksmith. And we've got lots of resources we can spend too, which is also very nice. Let's bump Thapsus up to a normal tax rate. That's a bit risky actually. Okay, keep them on a low tax rate, but once again, anything that improves public order, with the exception of sewers, because sewers contribute to growth rate, which we don't want. As it looks like we can't really do anything else in Thapsus. That's not good. None of these are going to improve public order. I don't know if stone wall helps. We'll get shipwright and we'll get some... we can get Arcani. Interesting ninja unit. Not as good as they look though. They look awesome, but they're not actually very good as fighters. I think they only come with like 64 soldiers per unit. Games held in Lilybiome, and they're still not too happy, so that's not too great. Message from the Senate. Okay, we knew about that. Lots of profits, mainly from killing lots of people, and we've got a unit of Triarii, which is nice. The Triarii are the best infantry units we can get right now, so we'll definitely make use of those. Probably should have actually attacked those rebel town watch. That's a bit of a waste of Triarii. I think we can do better with that.
Yes, Captain. Moves depleted, sir.
Let's gather up a few more forces. Let's get some Hastati and some more Principes. And we're going to send these over to Sparta because potentially we're going to need to defend that pretty soon. I swear this guy is now freed up. Not going to do anything with him just yet though. I will recruit another spy. I think we would benefit from a few more Principes, but we should be okay to do that in another turn. Here we're going to recruit more Equites. Carthage is now almost full. Let's just keep recruiting units in general. And Quintus Scipio, I think, is now ready to help out Lepcis Magna.
General.
And hopefully hit this king in the back. He's our factionaire. He's got a nice sized bodyguard with him. Can also recruit some mercenary hoplites. Unexpected, but potentially useful. Numidian mercenary is also going to be quite nice, so let's actually get a few of those. How old is this guy? 55. Okay. So hopefully we can surround him and rout him fairly quickly. He has got his other family member with him, so we'll have to deal with that as well. But I think it's definitely in our favour. Okay, we're actually going to need the reinforcements. They're coming forward in quite some numbers. Not sure we want to be fighting those at all, to be frank. Numidian mercenaries are going to get very easy kills against us. They're quite tough to chase down as well. Let's see how quickly they take down our own Numidian mercenaries. I think we just have to ignore them. Try and go straight through them. It looks like we have actually successfully engaged with one of them already, which is good. Send a few more units in. Got the Numidian king surrounded.
dead at your feet. Now is the time to strike
Okay, that's a
hard
good
at
start.
his grieving subjects.
That's, From previous experience, I'm reluctant to pull the king out. Not the king, the factionaire. Just in case. There's another general's bodyguard there, which we still have to deal with. See if we can find him. Here he is. He's not quite on the front line, and plus we've routed them, so that's good. Now I think it's going to be a case of trying to take out as many of these skirmishy units as possible before they can cause too much trouble. As I'm pretty sure I didn't tell these guys to be commanded by the AI, but I don't seem to have any control over them. But we do have a decent number of cavalry left over, so let's just try and rout them as quickly as possible. And hope that not too many of the AI's units are dying over there. We should be able to speed this one up, it's pretty much over.
The enemy army is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the battle. Rome demands victory.
That's fine. We didn't lose a general. I think that's the best we can hope for. And I think at this point we can safely say that the whole of Northwest Africa is safely secured, and we can actually start looking to expand to the east, take their final town of Siwa, and then we're on the border of Egypt, which is quite scary, particularly if we find ourselves at war with Thrace, who are looking very menacing. And there's a clear Spanish spy hanging out next to Corduba there, but not a lot we can do about that. We can't actually recruit assassins anywhere except Sparta right now. Possibly in Capua I should be looking to... I think it's the marketplace. Forum. I should probably get a forum in Capua so that we can get an assassin there. That's going to be helpful too. And frankly, I'd pretty happily use it against our Roman brethren, because we're going to need to fight them at some point, regardless. We've got 5k left in the bank. Must be something we can do with that. Masana. Let's get a ship right. I think they are happy enough. Lepcis Magna can't build. Can retrain though. Let's do that. Looks like they only lost a few peasants, as it turns out. And we've got Cyrene. Can't do anything with that either. Nepte is another very, very small town. We've actually got a pretty nice surplus going here. We're already retraining in Sparta. Lilybaeum can possibly use a few more peasants just to keep them happy. Everywhere else is reasonably happy.
Sir! March! General! General!
Right, and doing that should enable us to bump the tax rate up to... Very high is risky, let's go with just a high tax rate. And I think then we're good to end the turn. Sirta is already building. Corduba is fine.
Yes, master.
Hirius Tigellinus? I want to keep him where he currently is. That's actually a pretty good vantage point. Retinue expands of Quintus Scipio, a Carthaginian turncoat. I don't know where that came from, because we didn't fight the Carthaginians, we fought the Numidians, but okay, that's good. Quintus is fairly old himself. I think he's going to die pretty soon. So what we're probably going to do... Flaccus is only 26. He's got 3 command stars, he's got lots of promise. We're going to move all of our retinue over to him. He's looking pretty good now. Got the 2 command stars, he's got extra command when fighting rebels, when fighting Carthage likewise, although we're not likely to go and fight Carthage, to be fair. More command when defending too. Good. Let's end all of this. And then we'll end the turn. I would not be surprised to see Corinth fall this turn.
Imperator, forward!
It's pretty borderline. They could easily take that if they wanted to, and they haven't exactly been cautious about going in and assaulting towns in the past. What I do need is for the Brutii to back me up if we do go to war with Thrace. We're actually going to need them. But we'll see what happens at the end of the turn. Okay, Flavius really needs to adopt someone, but this guy is even less promising than the previous candidates. But we'll do something like that soon. They want us to blockade roads. We'll be rewarded with 1 unit. I'm not sure if that's really that worthwhile. We can see a family member there, which is interesting. I wouldn't mind getting a diplomat over to speak to... I would have said the Greeks, but there are no Greeks left. Looks like we've completely pushed them off Greece.
I cannot do that, sir. Without delay, I shall speak with them at
I'm going to try this one more time, and I'm going to offer them... some money, because I really don't think we can fight them. And I think they're going to get bored, and they're going to attack us. Yeah. I think they're already considering attacking us. They've got Corinth. The only way they can really go now is to take Sparta. But they are already in quite a few wars. So you'd hope they wouldn't. If they fight us, they'll have to fight the Brutii as well. But they don't look like they're interested in attacking the west right now. Even though Thermon is a much easier target than Sparta. Definitely looks like they're sending everything in Sparta's direction. The other really unfortunate thing about not getting Corinth before Thrace is they get the statue of Zeus, which is going to improve their public order. I'd really like to have that myself. But I don't want to go to war with Thrace if I don't have to. That has grown. Okay, let's spend some of this excess denarii on a governor's palace. Recruit some more Stati, and let's send up a couple more units. I think we're going to go and attack Parma pretty soon. Thingy. Let's get paved roads. Not expecting this to be much of a war front town, so mostly just want to use it for public order and revenue. Numidia is free as well. Again, no real public order options here. Can repair the barracks, but I think we'd rather just build our own. No culture penalty with that. Macedon is just straight up gone. I didn't expect that. I mean, it makes sense. Corinth was their last town, but that's one less war for them, and Thrace is really killing it. I don't know if this is normal. I don't remember Thrace being that much of a strong faction. But there are no Greeks left apart from on roads. There are no Macedonians left. It's really just us. And that's not a good situation to be in. We have the money we need, but we need to actually start sending some backup pretty urgently.
Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. Aye, aye, Captain. Orders? Sir! Sir!
3 units of Principes here, that's going to be good. 3 more Hastati here as well.
Captain. Splitting the troops. Off the boats. General. Sir! Fleet ready. Aye, Captain. Yes, Captain. No more moves, sir. Aye, Captain. Yes, Captain. No more moves, sir.
Just want to be getting as much military as possible. all the military needs to be flowing to the east now. I think Corduba is going to stand on its own 2 feet just fine. We will get that last unit of Principes, but the rest of our towns, pretty much, we need everything going towards Sparta to defend it if we do get attacked, and we also need everything going to Cyrene to make a move on Siwa. And after that, we're going to have to fight the Egyptians, which is going to be one of the toughest fights of the whole campaign. We need everything we can get. But I think we've done enough for this part, so I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next part when we will be potentially doing something about this large Carthaginian force, which is very ominous, but completely inactive. We'll also be going to take Parma,
Ready to sail.
and we'll be seeing what Thrace does. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.